Hello, everybody. This is Sri from BizBuzz. What matters the most in your business? Sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly catering to service-based small businesses, to remove your chaos from your lab and help you streamline your business. Check it out. And today I have a guest, Kevin Palmieri. Kevin Palmieri is the CFO and co-founder of Next Level University. And the most important part, that Kevin has done over 2,000 podcast episodes with 1 million subscribers all over the world. I am so excited to talk to you about Kevin. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing well, Sri. Thank you for having me. We have a little backstory. This is the second time we're doing this, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to come back and see you.
I am so glad. I am so thankful for your kindness to come back
Of
again
course.
second time.
Of course.
So, Kevin, I know you have a story that is coming all the way to rock bottom, and rock bottom, you found out that there is a foundation at the rock bottom. So, take a minute, just give us a story that can help small businesses to be resilient and what they got from your story.
Yeah, so I was somebody who never thought I was going to be successful. I somehow became successful, realized that that success was not what I thought I wanted out of life. Ended up leaving my job. I went through some really challenging mental health challenges where I had contemplated suicide a couple times. And then I ended up going all in on what we're doing today. And I think one of the important things to understand about resilience as business owners is when you fail, which you are going to, it does not mean you're bad. It does not mean that you can't be successful. It means that it's an opportunity for feedback and it's an opportunity for growth. And I think if my story is an example of anything, it's an example of making a lot of mistakes, but getting up and taking those lessons to build a brighter future.
Kevin, so picking up on the resilience. So we all go through, not necessarily many of the entrepreneurs, they fail completely and collapse. Some of them are, they are there, but they go through very challenging times, right? And many of the times you go through a suffocation of either cash flow suffocation, lack of sales, or lack of enough people to deliver what you committed for, all these kind of suffocating challenges. So, what have you done when you go through these suffocations in your business growth?
Yeah.
Can you give us a tip?
Yeah. So the first thing we do is we immediately look at the root of the problem. So if
Yes.
cash flow is the problem, people are going to say, okay, we're either spending too much or we're not making enough. But what
Hmm.
is the actual root? So where
Yes.
does your sale come from? Oh,
Right.
yeah, no. I remember we were running ads for a while and then we stopped doing that and it seemed like it didn't affect us for 6 months and now our leads have dried up. I think it's
Hmm.
really easy to look at the problem
Hmm.
and not look at the solution to solve the problem. So for us, we will look back on a time where we were doing really well and we will
Hmm.
say, what are the 5 things that brought us those results and how many of those things are we still doing? Oh, we're only doing 3 of those 5 things. It makes sense. We got to start doing those other two. It's easy to forget what brought us
Right.
success in the first place.
No, that's a great tip. Thank you very much,
Of
Kevin.
course.
And as a business, as an entrepreneur, and when you are starting a new project, you have a sort of process that you go through. Although it is the same company, same organization that you're working, but there's always new projects, new initiatives that you're taking. It can be a new initiative, or you may be going venturing into a new area, geographic area you may not have done business with. So, do you have any process that you would recommend for the audience here?
My process is probably not the best one, but I'm really good at taking messy action. So
Yeah,
I go from idea to implementation to proof of concept really quickly.
yeah.
I think entrepreneurs, I think there's 2 flavors of entrepreneurs. There's the thinker and the overthinker, and
Hmm.
then there's like the doer and the overdoer.
Yes.
What I would throw out there is for all of us, if we can take an idea and move it into implementation faster through our systems, you're going to
Right.
get feedback quicker and you're going to realize A, this is not a good idea. B, this is a great idea. Or C, this is an idea that we could actually build out as a pillar of the business and what we serve our customers or clients with. So yeah, that for me, it's like I just need a blank hour in my schedule where I can take an idea and then
Mhm.
build some sort of blueprint for it and then throw it out into the world to test it. So that's what I would
Oh, that's
say.
a great idea. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So what you're suggesting is that you need to learn about yourself. Are you an overdoer? Are you a doer? Are you a thinker? Are you an overthinker? So you categorize yourself into one of the four, and then your mind is going to automatically gives you some sort of a direction to go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And
that
make
is a
sure you have
wonderful
the
concept.
time.
Thank you very much.
Of course, of course. And make sure you have the time to do whatever it is. Maybe you need to think a little bit more, whatever it may be. I just know there's a lot of people that have really good ideas that never get them out into the world. So that's,
Yeah,
I try to implement really fast.
right. No, I mean, overthinkers uh, tend to lose their momentum because they think way too much than what they need to.
Yep.
When I was actually reading the books, matter of fact, I listen more books than read. When I was listening to the books from Grant Cardone, one of the great sales master, and he was saying that take a action. What action are you taking today? He's
Hmm.
all about action. He's not much about thinking at all. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to think, you have to plan, but action is needed to be done. But looks like you are somebody that is going to take action first and then continue built upon from that built
Yes.
of the action,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent,
100%.
excellent. Right now, Kevin, if you can share a tip or two for a new entrepreneurs, but just on the fence, whether they wanted to start a business or they don't want to start a business and just simply go to work as a job or as an employee, what do you suggest to those who are living on the fence?
I would say sit down and write out what are your core values, what are your core beliefs, and what are your core aspirations, and are any of those in conflict? So, just as an example, if you're somebody who values family at a 10 out of 10, and it's important to be at every dinner, every kids' sporting event, parent teacher conference, I don't know that entrepreneurship is going to be for you, especially the first 5 years. So if you can sit down and say, I really value family and I value certainty and security, that might conflict with being an entrepreneur. But if you're
Mhm.
somebody who says, I cannot imagine ever working for somebody else again, and I like excitement and I like not knowing where my next paycheck is coming from, entrepreneurship probably is for you. So
Mhm.
I always start from a place of self-awareness. Let's sit down and figure out, why do we actually want to be an entrepreneur? Is it because it sounds fun, it sounds easy, it sounds sexy, or because we really feel like we have an idea or a product or service that we can bring to the world and add value to?
And also about it, like many of the people, they become entrepreneurs because they feel they are very good at what they're doing at the job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have to also recognize that just being good at the job, what you're doing, is doesn't mean you are going to be the best leader or you're going to be the best business person.
Yeah.
Because when I started being an entrepreneur, coming from 9 to 5 paycheck job, quickly realized I am best at one thing, I am worst at another thing that I did not even know they exist.
Same.
You know, yes, yes. So, but at that moment, I realized that do I have enough courage to continue on my journey, knowing that I am bad at dozen other skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that helped me realize, okay, I think I do have a courage. I think I do have some background that I can leverage upon going forward. So taking that into account, what kind of steps, what kind of thinking would you suggest for those who are having a lack of courage? Can they build up the courage? What do you
Yeah.
suggest?
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely build up the courage. I would just say start small. So, even to your point, Sri, if you have a 9 to 5 and you want to be an entrepreneur, I would practice being an entrepreneur on the side to start. You don't have to leave your 9 to 5 and go all in on a business. I think that's reckless, if anything. So, I would say really lean into the challenge based on the amount of courage that you have. Okay, you have a 9 to 5. Let's practice entrepreneurship on the weekend. Cool. Do your
Right.
thing on a Saturday, see how that feels, and then you can do it more. and then the percentage can shift out as you feel better and better. So I would say start small,
Yeah.
and then when that challenge becomes easy, you move on to the next challenge. And if you do that for long enough, you'll have way more courage and things will seem easier.
Like building up your muscle, right?
100%.
You start something and start building the strength of muscle and then continue growing and continue challenge that strength that you have built up yesterday.
Yes.
But it is a continuous process. It's not that you do it one day and stop and then you're done, or you do it for a month or 2 months, you're done.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurship is a continuous process of building your muscle
Yes.
for the sustainability,
Yeah.
right?
So if you want
Excellent.
to be in business forever, you got to grow forever.
Excellent. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us today. So if I put it together, all of it, what you contributed here. So as an entrepreneur, if you are on the fence, you wanted to really look at what is your priorities. And if the family is 100% attention to your family is your priority, you are going to take one direction and you're okay, you have enough courage to take a step forward. And if you don't have a paycheck for 1 month and you are okay to survive, or 2 months okay to survive, then entrepreneurship is one other direction that we can go forward with. But you have to have a self-awareness, what you're suggesting. And
Yes.
in order to solve your suffocation challenges, when you become an entrepreneur, you have to think about what is the cause, what is the root of that suffocation, and go back to that. You have already solved the suffocation before, and go back to the root, go back to the history of what you have done, and then that history will tell you what is the solution to relieve from that suffocation. Did I
Yes.
summarize it well?
I think you summarized it very well, my friend.
Excellent. Kevin, thank you very much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate your time and your knowledge and efforts in contributing to the business community here on
Thank
this
you for
podcast.
having me, Sri. I appreciate you, my friend.